The gentleman from New York is recognized.
I thank the gentleman from Michigan yielding me such time. Much of the same rhetoric we're hearing right now from the other side of the aisle is similar to the same rhetoric we heard back in the 1840s and 50s and 60s against the Irish when they came to America. We heard it said about Italian Americans in the 1880s and 1890s. We continue to hear about African Americans in our country, the same type of rhetoric in terms of the percentage of criminal activity that takes place. And what we've seen happen is the further incarceration and enslavement of African Americans in our nation today because of similar rhetoric. I want to make it very clear. Immigrant and criminal are not synonyms. But you make it out to be that way by the passage of this legislation. About law enforcement. In New York City, James O'Neill, the police commissioner, has said this law will make New York City less safe than it is today. I remind my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, 9/11 happened in my hometown, in my city. Since then, there have been no major incidents of terrorism in New York City because New York City has been able to collect information, much of it from the undocumented community in our city, to prevent similar events from happening again. And that's why this bill is so egregious, because the first responsibility of the federal government is to protect its citizens from foreign invasion and foreign attack, terrorist attacks. This bill will withhold terrorism money from New York City. It will prevent the city of New York to continue to collect the information they need, and other cities around this country, they need to protect their citizens, to develop the trust that the community has to have in its police department and the police department in its communities. That's how law enforcement works. That's how they catch the criminals. And that's how, in a city like New York, they do help the federal government deport criminals who have committed criminal offenses. With that, I yield back.